So welcome along to a fabulous Christmas robin, one for a great Christmas card. So let's see what Dangerous Dave can offer with our fabulous painting in our loose style. So we'll just drape a little bit of clean water over the robin with Dangerous Dave there. Just leave the back end of the chest around the legs untouched, no water there, so keep that nice and white. Going to start with a little bit of cadmium orange, and we're just going to waft. If you know how to waft, we're going to waft that over the face and the chest, upper chest area. We'll just let that bleed in and go wherever it pleases. We're going to introduce a little bit of cadmium red, and we're going to place that on just from the back of the face and the chest. And with the water being pre-placed, this will allow the red to bleed into the orange there without any intervention or safety net. Indian red and royal blue. And we're just scooting that round the wing area for a start. That's more Indian red than royal blue, but we've got a tinge in there. And then notice how Dangerous Dave just delicately, by turning him round, using the thinner side of the bristles, allows him to just put the cap on the head of the robin there. So he's very, very versatile little fella. Tail time. So again, the mix, we can just alter the mix slightly. So not quite so Indian red, a little more blue in there. And just flicking that out, so we're finding the direction of the feathers as we place them down. Little cobalt blue with Indian red, so a slightly darker mix. And again on the wing section to start with. A little bit on the tail and around the face as well. So again, Dangerous Dave doing his thing, and once you get used to how to get to grips with Dangerous Dave, he's a fine fellow of a loose brush. What about his cousin Mini Dave? He's a good fellow to dive in, introduce him to the party. And Mini Dave, going to pick up a little bit of royal blue. And we're just scooting this under the wing feather. Doesn't look like royal blue, but it is. You can see that it's got a little bit of tinge in it, but that doesn't matter at all. And notice how we don't stick to the line. If we stuck to the line, it would be very, very detailed. So by going over the line, it just gives that nice fluid, loose feel. Indian red, cadmium red should I say, believe, just flipped over the chest at the back. And dragged forward. And this will move the paint a little, but again, don't overdo it with the brushwork. That's one of the key things. Just be careful with the amount of visits you make with the brush. Like Dangerous Dave's back in town with a bit of clean water. And we're just adding this to the background around the robin, getting a decent amount on. I'm going to go in with a little bit of turquoise. And not too strong, just place that down, the water will allow it to flow about nicely. Again, notice how I just use the thinner edge of Dangerous Dave just to start to negatively pick out, carve out the shape, and we're running over the colours that we allowed to bleed out in the first place. So we're going back and shaping the little fella as we go. Cobalt blue now. Ooh, whoosh. Just over the top there. We're doing the same there, going over the top, using the long line of the brush there just to guide the shape. Flicking that out, doesn't really matter where it goes. I won't go too far, stay within the country. That is useful. We just flick that. And actually the faster you flick the colour, that may scrape over the surface of the paper and leaving some nice little white marks within that shape. Cerulean blue. This is the snow that the robin's standing on, having a look maybe for a meal or two. And again, it bleeding gently into the turquoise. This rigger is called up for duty. Purple and sepia mixed together. And we're just going to shape the eye. Now I don't paint a circle and then fill it in. What I do is put a little colour down and start pushing this out gently to form the circle, leaving a dot in the centre of the eye, which acts as light reflected just in the eye surface, rather than placing white on later. Mr. Beak now. Shaping that gently, and on the surface of the beak, just to find a little bit of light catching the surface of the beak. Tiny little bit of water there just to shape almost the line through the eye, just to allow that to happen. A little Indian red and ultramarine now. We're going back, guess where we're going? We're going back to the wing to shape the top of the wing for a start. And allowing this to define some of the feathers within the wing. So just lines back for a start. Don't make them too clean. I scruffy them up with scruffification, so they're not just long sinuous lines. We don't really need them that clean at all. Just around the inside of the head, the darker tones that we've placed down already, just the inside, and then we gently push that out rather than lining the outline of the bird, because we're trying to capture a little bit of light bouncing off the fella's back there. Same with the tail, just picking that out in the same manner, just placing this rigger down, nice wet paint, and then just dragging that back in the direction of the feathers. Mini Dave, where are you? Little bit of cad red again, but at the back end of the chest to bring that forward. And then we're just flicking the colour out, so there's not too much paint on the brush, we're just flicking that out into the chest. Gently easing that around the eye. A little bit of royal blue just under the wing, shaping that in. Indian red, just picking out the front leg. Now we start by doing this quite thin and then just building up the shape as we go. We don't want to dive in with a big thick leg. And then toes, just grabbing the surface of the snow. And repeat this with a darker tone, ultramarine this time. And again, the angle of the leg just a little bit more turned. Just drop a little bit of that into the leg as well, on the foreleg, and that'll allow that to work nicely. Ultramarine with a bit of Indian red. Again, just on the back of the head and the wing. On the tail feather as well. We just gently build this up. There's no rush. We've got everything in place, and now you can just strengthen colours gently as we go. A little bit more cadmium red. No expense spared, so I'm just dotting this down. Then returning with a little bit of water to soften it and move it about. Mini Dave again. Purple and cobalt blue, and we're just defining a shadow under the robin and a little further back as well. So we don't do it as a big full area, we leave some nice gaps to allow the paint underneath to show through. Misrigger now, just popping back into the eye, just darken it a tad. And a little bit on the beak. Just to strengthen that up. So I do hope you're enjoying this, guys. Your work is looking fabulous. We're just going to splatter a little bit of white onto the surface, titanium white, just to give us a snow feel to Mr. Robin for Christmas. So this will make a fabulous card, guys. Give it a whirl. And if you'd like to see the full narrated, listed tutorial of Mr. Robin, please feel free to drop by loosewatercolors.com. You can join us over there and get access to this fabulous tutorial along with over 350 others as well. So it could be a great time to join for Christmas, introduce your friends and have a great loose painting time together. So thank you for joining me. I love your work, and there is Mr. Robin just ready to fly for Christmas.